Maybe tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. We are back with another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly podcast. Today's episode is featuring a very special guest. We have with us Mr. David Scott. David Scott, if you could go ahead and give us a little introduction
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the people.
What's going on? Appreciate y'all. First of all, I just want to say I appreciate y'all having me on here. It's an honor, you know what I mean, to be on the up and coming podcast of the world. But like you said, I'm David Scott. I go by free game Scotty. Came up with that name because you know what I mean. Regardless of anything that I do, I just like putting people on to something. You know what I mean? Whether when I was in my party days, it was girls. When I'm on my business stuff, I'm putting out you know what I mean business information. But I just love putting people on and stuff. And I as you can see on my website, I was in the Air Force for about 8 years, 8 long years because I wasn't doing anything in there. I was just coasting by, getting a little paycheck.
Come on,
And
man. Chill
you
out,
know
man.
what I mean?
Chill out.
My
Relax.
bad, no, my bad,
Dang.
my bad.
Chill
Yeah.
out, chill out,
That's like coasting, like yeah. Nah, I was, you know what I mean? Go blue. You
Mm.
feel me? But
Mm.
nah. It was the Air Force was a good experience, man, because it kind of gave me ambition. Like it got me out of California, it got me traveling, it got me like realizing what's out there in the world. But man, I was one of them people that I didn't really have no passion for it. So like when you waking up going to a job that the person next to you got real passion, you could tell like they love what they doing. It kind of
Fact.
like it do something to you. You kind of like want that passion that they have for whatever it is. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what led me to really work on getting out. So I got out. I was able to, you know, what I mean, get my disability, and that was a big journey. That was a big stretch in my entrepreneur journey because, you know, as you know, with the disability, like, you know, you kind of cover your bills on the things that you deserve from what you went through, you know, serving your country. So
Correct.
I don't ever have to, you know, get out here and, you know, start this business and have to worry about is my bills gonna be paid because, you know, the business is going well or going bad because I know that I secure my disability. So that's what led me to be able to start my Airbnb business and take a lot of risks. The Airbnb is when I first touched. That's when I touched my first bag. You know what I mean? Like that's why I bet on myself. The first thing I got, that's what first thing I did as soon as I got out the military. You know, what I mean, I was nervous and everything like that. I got this condo. I wasn't sure if that shit was gonna book, and I could test
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you can cuss. I'm
that.
sorry.
I just want to make sure. Let me just vibe it out.
Yeah,
But
good
yeah,
Yeah,
question, brother.
yeah. Our
I
38
wasn't.
subscribers ain't gonna say nothing.
Come on now, come on. But
They good.
yeah, I was saying I don't want to be too black on this motherfucker. So you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
But
too
Nah,
late,
we
brother. Too
we try
late.
to be
Join the
we try
club,
to be
man.
yeah,
Black
yeah.
personalities, bro.
Yes,
Nah,
sir.
so I got that first condo. You know, I was nervous as hell because you know at this time Airbnb wasn't super popular, so I wasn't really sure if it was going, you know, book in the right way. I was still in
right,
Colorado. That was the last duty station I had. So I'm like, man, I don't know, this ain't Miami, this ain't Vegas. You feel me?
right.
I did that first month, man, blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean? Putting couches on my back. You know what I mean? Furnished it the whole way, and man, it took off. I think my first month, the condo was like a $1,500 condo. You feel me? Utilities probably like 1,700. The first month I want to say I did like 3,300 or something like that. Like I did,
Ooh,
yeah,
That's
like I
fortunate.
did damn near, yeah,
ooh.
damn near doubled it, right? So I'm like, oh, hold on. So I'm wondering, is this just like a good month or what's going on? Second month,
Right.
I think I did like full bands. I'm like, okay, hold on. Then ever since then, it just kind of stayed steady right around there. That four bands was probably like the top that I did, but it was consistent. It showed me consistently I was making rent, making utilities. I was always in profit at all times. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm really on to something. Uh, so what I did was uh, one of my mentors in Colorado, I talked to him about what I was doing, and he linked me up with this realtor couple that he knows. It's an Asian lady and a white dude, and it's important that I mention that it's an Asian lady and white dude because you know how America is and everything like that. But
Right.
my man, he put me on to them, right? So I did like players do. I took them out to eat, you know what I mean, and took a little business meeting with them and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mhm.
I sat down. I got to talking with him. Me and the guy was, we was vibing. He was a veteran too. We vibing and stuff. So I'm over there talking. I feel like it's going good. And then the woman, the Asian woman, she wasn't really saying much, right? She wasn't saying too much in while we were sitting down. Like she was kind of just reading me, just watching. So I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, man, I don't know if she liked me or whatever, right?
Okay.
And turns out she just about business. Like she not with all the fluff that I was giving. He was eating it up. Like she was reading through all that shit.
Free
Like she was
gang,
like,
Scotty.
yeah, she was like, yeah, okay, yeah,
I
motherfucker. Let me see what you talking
Let's
about,
talk
right?
about
man.
this. Let's talk about this
Yeah,
bag.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I whipped out the numbers. I'm showing them what I'm doing with the condo, whatever. Long story short, they was like, all right, look, they got this big house with this basement that's almost like a apartment size, right?
Okay.
They was like, look, if you could Airbnb be out our basement, we'll give you a chance. We'll see what you do. I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't honestly, I didn't want to do it. I honestly didn't want to do it. And this some real game, and this is like a life lesson because I wanted to decline it because I'm like, man, that's not really gonna profit me nothing. But at the end of the day, like I think it's Charlemagne who said like, if you only taking things that got a paycheck attached to it, you're gonna miss out on a lot of opportunities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took it. I furnished it up a little bit. I didn't have to do too much for it. Anyways, I got to rent it out for a whole month. Luckily, like some guy that was coming for the military, he needed a place to stay for a month. He rented me out the whole month, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty much easy. And then they seen that they had a tenant in there the whole month. So uh, they was like after the first month, they like, all right, cool, all right, we stop. We don't like people being in the basement no more. You proved yourself. You know what I mean? It's good. And the beautiful thing about them is they're both realtors, right? They're both
Mm-hmm.
realtors, so they own houses. Both of them own houses, and then they got in a like an abundance of
Inventory.
clients. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
all their clients or whatever. So what they
Yeah.
did was, I worked them a little deal like a finder's fee type of deal to broker a deal between me and their clients, and they was going to their clients like, hey, look, you buying this house with us instead of getting a tenant, we got this Airbnb guy who will pay you a little bit more on the monthly on the rent, and he got a cleaning crew, and he good money. We seen his numbers. He worked with us before. This, and that. So
Right.
they, leading me into deals or whatever, right? And it's dope because I'm a nigga with tattoos on my face and all that type of stuff. So it's like, you feel me? I would never gotten their door with these people. Like they would have never. One of the dudes that I got a house with, he actually told me like, man, I wouldn't have rented to you, and I didn't even take offense to it because it's like, nigga, I wouldn't have rented to me neither. You feel what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like you feel. But what I did was I had created such a good relationship with them that they seen through all this. You know what I'm saying? They were like, okay, this nigga is about his bread. He own it at all times. They see how hard I work, so they
Right.
tapping in with him. I didn't even have to win over no clients. They already brought me in. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's why how I was able to like scale up quickly. I got 4 houses with them in a matter of like a year and a half. Um, and for a lot of people don't really know like the game with the Airbnb thing because I get a lot of like members who join with my program and they like, man, do I gotta buy these houses and this and that? I'm like, man, listen, if you got the bag to drop 20% down, then yeah, go buy them. You know what I'm saying? Cool. But the rent to rent strategy, that's what I teach. You know what I mean? Rental arbitrage or whatever. You can look it up on YouTube. That's how people are really getting big on Airbnb. So you lease a property, you furnish it up, you rent it out. That's exactly how you do it. Obviously, it's more things in between. And, it's not just that easy. But everybody out there that's just wondering, like, man, I want an Airbnb, but I can't buy a house. Like, you can get an apartment. You know what I'm saying? You can, and even if you don't have the credit to get an apartment, you got a friend who can get an apartment. You could partner on a deal that way or whatever. So,
Right.
yeah, man, that was my Airbnb journey. That's how I got big doing that. And auto and I started with the 3 bedroom condo, and then they started getting more and more clients, and now we're talking 4-bedroom houses. I got all the way up to like two 6-bedroom houses that I ended up doing. And obviously that's a little bit more upfront money, but the
Yeah.
return is crazy because now you rent out to big families. You know what I'm saying? I need to stay here, come watch a graduation for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? You touching real bread. Um, so that was amazing, man. And it just showed me, man, like I made the right decision to get out of the military because I bet on myself and I could just feel myself like my wings spreading. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no cap above me. You know what I mean? I was able to do everything I wanted to do, and that's what
So,
led me to getting the.
so I had a quick question, bro. Before we get into the whole picture that you're painting as far as Airbnb and Turo and the
Yeah,
class and all that. So let's take a step back as far as the beginning, man. Because I want the audience to understand like where you came from, where were you raised, kind
yeah.
of the upbringing, and where'd you kind of get the hustler's ambition at a young age. Can you tell like everybody where you're from originally?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm originally from the Bay Area. I'm from Vallejo, California. Um,
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
E40,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Easy.
yeah. E40, Mac Dre. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
CC Sabathia. List of, you know what I mean? A lot of great David Scott. It was a lot of greats that came out of Vallejo.
yeah.
So, I grew up in the Bay Area. Um, Vallejo is it's one of them cities. It's a rough city. You know what I mean? Like you don't really know why you
Oh, I
living in
heard.
it.
I heard.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's like that. But you don't really know why you living there. You kind of just feel like everywhere is like that or whatever. And I mean, I had a decent childhood. You know what I mean? Kind of grew up in poverty, everything like that. Single mom and everything. Going through school, I wasn't really too focused on it and everything. And that's kind of what led me to joining the military is because I was I was I was I was like a shy kid all the way up to like maybe 16 or something like that. And then like some niggas are the way people grow up. It's like when they explode, they explode. Like once I got outside, I was outside. I was doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting into the wrong things. You feel what I'm saying? As soon as I got outside, feel me, gang activities and stuff like that, I'm getting influenced by different people, daddy, all that type of stuff. So I'm into everything. You feel me? And I'm terrible at it, like horrible at it. Like I didn't try. You feel what I'm saying? Every hustle you could think of, I was terrible at selling weed because I was smoking too much weed. I couldn't. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I was robbing
You getting
houses, didn't know what I was doing. I'm just a terrible criminal, right? It just wasn't working. And
Terrible criminal.
and I could just tell, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could just tell it was going like down the
Wrong
bad
direction,
path,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what led
Yeah.
me to join the military because it's funny the
Damn, this
military.
sound familiar, man. This sound
Oh
too
God,
familiar.
come on, that's like everybody's story, bro. That shit
Who
is like
connected it?
it's
Who connected the
yeah.
dots?
I'm telling you. And look, the funny thing is about the military, like I ain't even
Uh,
told too many people this. Is like what really like sent me to the military, like unconsciously without even really knowing it, was that my growing up, my mom used to always say, "I don't care what y'all do, y'all just not joining the military." Right? So it's like, me and my mom's was beefing growing up.
Button
So it's
heads.
like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like a petty move. Like I was kind of like, yeah, all right, I'm joining the military. You feel me? And it went like that, literally.
dang.
And then it's crazy because we team Air Force, but I was actually this close to being in the Army, right? Because
Oh, that's your story
because
too, Rondell?
Remember, I was looking for the Air Force, but they was never there. They was always out on
Oh, you
lunch.
did
So I
say
went to
that.
the
you go,
Marines.
bro, you gonna think I'm lying? I swear, we just met. This ain't even like we didn't rehearse
Oh,
this. I
I
swear to
played
God, this
together,
is
by the way. I told y'all that.
yeah,
I
yeah, no,
told you
no,
that.
no. You did your thing, man. You need a middleman for this,
All
but
day. Great wingman.
yes, sir. But yeah, that's what it was with me, right? Because the Army thing and the Navy thing and the Air Force, they was all on the same little row, right? So
Yeah.
I'm really just bad kid. So I got my GED. I've been dropped out. Like I was like, nigga, I'm cool on school, whatever. My mom wasn't really around, so I'm like, nigga, I was at the house playing Madden. You feel me? So I, boom, got my GED and shit, right? So when it came time for the military people, the Army was like, well, the Air Force was like, man, you got your GED, you don't have to go to community college, get 15 credits. You feel me? Come fuck with us. It was almost like a bad bitch. Like, now, like you gonna have to do this and do that to come fuck with us. So I'm like, all right, you feel me? I go,
What
I
you
walk,
bring?
I just
What you bringing to the table?
yeah, like I'm like, okay, like nigga, 15 credits. If I got a GED, like you coming at me like to get 15 credits, right? I'm like, you know, I'm not about to do that. So all I do is walk by the army recruit, and hey, brother, you like, come on, you know what I'm saying? It's love off top, right?
Oh
So
man.
I'm in there. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking with them. They telling me all these things. They really fucking with me. So much to the point I think I was in adult school at the time. And the recruiter, he used to drop me off at adult school, give me rides and shit like that. Like, they like really giving me love. And now that I'm older, I should have realized, like, why is he giving me so much love? Like, what's the
He
incentive? The
believed in you,
incentive to this,
bro.
right?
He believed in you.
That and he had to recruit. The Air
He had to
Force,
recruit your ass,
they was a
right?
bad bitch. They didn't have to do none of that. They knew who they
Yeah.
was. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's crazy. It's super crazy that this happened. And I really gotta thank God for this story because I went with the army, swore in, like got picked my job and all that type of shit. And I had my date to leave. It was like 2 weeks away. And like probably like a week afterwards, they called me in the office and no, they called me on the phone. He was like, man, I got good news and I got bad news. He's like, man, the bad news is, man, they took away our GED program and we can no longer allow people to GED. But he's like, good news is I could get you in these college classes and you just get 15 units and then we could get you in, keep your job. So I'm like,
Right.
right, but that's what
That's
the
the same
Air
thing
Force
the Air
wants. You
Force
feel
has.
me? Like so like why would I? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm loyal. I fuck with you, but like you want me to do the same thing the Air Force want, right? He's like, yeah, unfortunately. I'm like, man, if I'm gonna go do that, I'm gonna just go with the bad bitch. Like that don't even make no sense to do. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna fuck this whole dish.
yeah, like I'm like, well, y'all had me. Now y'all standards getting Ray. I'm like, all right, I don't know what you want me to do now.
Oh man.
So
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you.
So yeah, long story short,
Oh.
I actually had a goal for school. Now I had to do it to get in the military. So I actually got focused this time. It wasn't like high school. I went in there, got them 15 college credits. They wasn't specific on what credits I needed, so I took yoga, art appreciation. You feel me? Like I wasn't really in the classroom like that. So I got my 15 credits and I was off
Hey,
into the Air Force.
your game is on 100, baby.
Bruh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you,
100 all day.
Lenny, tell me Scotty and Rondell ain't related, bruh. Tell me this ain't identical, man. Please.
Let me
No,
get
most definitely. It's most definitely. It is the same story for a lot of young brothers that go to the service.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
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 It's
True,
just
man.
some of them not smart enough to pick the Air Force. A lot of people
Yeah.
sign up for infantry in the army.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. The Air Force is that bad bitch. He's right.
Mhm.
They approach you like that. And you
Yeah,
be like,
and
man, fuck you. Fuck you.
yeah, they like their whole approach was kind of on some like really like I needed them, which essentially I did.
So
But
you
like
saying they
they was
ran
like,
game? They ran game with you. I
they was
got
like,
you.
yeah,
They
exactly. Like
seduced
they
you.
made you want them. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what's
They
up with this?
seduced you.
I'm gonna throw in
But yeah,
I'm gonna throw in a doozy right here. What was your signing bonus?
What- man, it was
What was your
pennies.
signing bonus, sir?
Y'all get
I
signing
think
bonuses now?
1,300. I think it was 1,300. I think 1,300.
60,000.
You got
You got
60,000.
60 racks, bro?
I got 60
What,
right.
what job did you do? Like what? You was a
Network
pilot?
engineer.
Oh
C2.
yeah, okay, yeah. So you was on the flight line. Yeah, no. You okay. I came
Yeah.
in, bro. I was at the bottom of the. I was security forces. You know what I mean? I was MP, so they wasn't
See,
really giving me
yeah,
anything. They gave me like
somebody
a
had
stick
should
of
give you
gum.
that game. Nobody knew you was going. You did it all on your own.
Everybody hated me. Everybody was mad that I was
Damn.
going. They just cut me out. I think my mom blocked me and shit. I was out there from that.
Damn. Just for going to the military?
She was pissed. My mom cried
Damn.
when I finally called and told her. Like she cried. Like I said, it was like a it was kind of disrespectful. You feel what I'm saying? It was like a petty thing. Like her number one enemy. I went over there. It was like
Joined the
I put
team.
on blue and she wearing red. That's kind of how it was.
Yeah,
So
I got you.
she was livid. She was livid.
But you got about
Nah.
the streets though. You got about the hood. So you trying to better
And
yourself.
and you know what's funny? Now you talk to her now. She's like, I'm so happy you did that. It made you a better man. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? This was my decision. I don't like people trying to take it from me. Like, yeah, that was a good idea. Nobody
Right.
supported me on this endeavor. Like, this was
Right.
I'm real hard headed with things, and it work out sometimes, and it don't work out. So, like, this was one of those situations. Happy that I was hard headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So quick question for you, Irv. So the
Yes, sir.
60 racks you got for a sign-on bonus, how does that work? Do they pay you up front or you got to put in a certain amount of time? I'm not hip to the military
So
recruitment game.
so 60 was the sign-on bonus, and 40% comes out automatically. So I think I end up getting like maybe 32,000. What's
From day one?
after I finished tech school. So once I got to my first base, they issued a check, and I went. I got the Katera from my grandma.
So you got the caddy for grandma. So your story is this is after you finished playing basketball at Westminster, right? And then
I'm about to grab my charger real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. You decided to go from Westminster to the Air Force, right?
Right.
I remember you said that you want to get to the bag. So that's what you was talking about. So you didn't mention that part, bro. You left that part out. I'm like, that makes sense from a long-term perspective, but you didn't say you got the bag from day one, no?
Yeah, as soon as I got on base, as soon as I got to Seattle, Washington, they cut that check.
Man, so this dude, you missed out though. You missed some parts in the story, bro.
What you mean?
That was important.
It wouldn't make no sense to you. I told you I didn't
Why wouldn't
know.
that signing bonus is a signing bonus?
But we kind of talked about it a couple episodes back when we was talking about the corporate world. I didn't know that was a real. I didn't know that was a real thing in the world. I thought it was something that the military did because they knew people died. So it was like, yo, we throw you this bonus. I didn't know that was like a real
really existed.
Yeah.
So you thought like an NFL, NBA contract, you get a signing bonus and different process, right? Different setup.
Right. I thought it was like, yeah, we're gonna kill you. So yeah,
you might not spend all of this.
You might get this back, brother. Because they turned me into a cop because I hit too many targets.
There you go.
I didn't know that. I was an augmentee for 6 years, man. It was the worst of the worst. They always put me on the flight line. They always came by and asked me to speak on that card.
Hot as hell.
They always bother me. I'm like, yo, I'm not a cop. I'm a comm troop. I just shoot well. Why y'all get me?
So as soon as you finished your tech school, you had 30 racks in the bank account.
Yep, 30 racks.
So how do you spend that money, man? Let's get into that. I know this guy's interview. We'll get back to you.
Oh, really?
Back to the street game, but how do you spend that 30 racks? You got Grandma Katera. What else you get?
I bought Grandma's Katera. I started my shoe collection. So I think
gold teeth.
Yeah.
You bought some gold teeth?
I bought gold teeth a couple years later after the shoe game. After the shoe game jumped off, I bought gold teeth and gold chains and stuff like that. But from that, I bought the car. I went and got some Goodwill furniture to put in my little dorm, and I just stacked.
That's a nigga for you.
Hey, and I just stacked. I had a loft out here in Seattle, our base, McCord. It was like a loft style. So the bottom I kind of slept on, and the top I just stacked with shoes. And I would bump them off. Whenever I go around, I put like 10, 15 shoes in the trunk. And just
niggas pay the top dollar for the shoes and go to Goodwill for the furniture. Crazy.
Oh, that you can't be. That's the top notch nigga ish right there, my G, all day.
And I
what the Goodwill?
And I bought a
Jordans.
Yeah,
I bought.
That's what I'm saying. He went top notch with the Jordans.
Oh, all the way to the top.
Yeah, it was good.
That's
money,
how.
Man.
So for you, Irv, that's how you knew about Seattle. I kept wondering why you were so high on Seattle, but you already lived there before when you were stationed.
Yes.
See, this dude. All right, man. I get it now. Now I'm closing the loop. This is why I ask questions because I'm inquisitive. I want to know people's story because you know what I'm saying it makes sense to me now. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I blew right through that money, but
fast.
But I kept once the shoe thing was going, I was good. Like I spent every bit of it, but it was an investment. Like I was always making $3,000 to $4,000 every month.
Yeah.
Oh, you was flipping the shoe?
Yeah, this before because eBay was heavy. You know, I'm 41, man. How old are you?
Yeah.
31. So you know, eBay was like a real monster. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I respect it because like me thinking about what I would have did with that, it wouldn't have been nothing that would have got flipped into nothing. It was definitely going to be spent, but it wouldn't have been. It would have been a liability, no asset. My mindset wasn't even. And it's funny because you asked me that question earlier about the hustler spirit and everything.
Yeah,
man. Listen, I just became a hustler like this like a couple of days ago. You feel me? Like I was never a hustler growing up. I was just focused on girls, females, women. That's all I cared about. You know what I'm saying? My wife not here right now, so she ain't gonna none at me.
Maybe you just wasn't as good as it, because you gotta always be a hustler, right?
It didn't like unlock. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't put myself into it or whatever. So like I was just so focused on like being the man. You know what I mean? I was throwing parties or whatever. I wasn't too much worried about my profit. I was just, trying to be popular, trying to have all the girls. And what's crazy is, like what you want most, God to give it to you. And it was almost like a trick he played on me, because he was like, man, all right, you want to just be a ladies' man, so I give it to you. And then 10 years later, I didn't have all the girls, and it's like nothing to show for. You know what I mean? Like, why did you pick that? Yeah. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, yeah, I should have been on what I'm on right now 10 years ago. Like it would be over.
This is all ringing bells, all coming together,
yeah,
brother.
Bro.
Keep going, though.
Yeah,
I love where
man.
we're going with this.
Yeah, I honestly, what ignited my hustling ambition, I hate to be cliche, but I'm gonna be honest, I had my son 4 years ago, and that's when I started my whole Elegance brand, right? Elegance is the brand I started. At first, it started with like clothing line and the parties that I was throwing over here on the East Coast. But I always had like a motto with it. Like even I had put it on my first T-shirts is elegance is everything, right? Everything is elegance. You can flip it however you want to do it. And the reason I made that is because I was like, you never know. I don't know, you know what I mean? If I switch the business, I switch the hustle, whatever, I'm always going to label it elegance, because it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm in the, you know what I mean, real estate and all the other businesses, you know what I mean? It's elegance estates, elegance autos, elegance education. I could still apply it. So I got it tattooed on my stomach, and I always wanted to make sure, like, when my son see my tattoo, he ain't like, yo, what is that? And I ain't like, oh, just some clothing line I started a couple years, you feel what I'm saying? So it's still going. So I forever keep that, like, that brand going. But yeah, man, I think him being born.
Yeah, it sounds like you playing a legacy game too, man. Sound like you got a bigger goal in mind now. You got kids and all that good stuff and family, man. Bro. So that's dope to hear. Congrats.
Yeah, man. And really on the deeper level, like you said, the legacy thing is huge to me, but really like on the deeper level. And this time I talk to my therapist all the time about, like, if anybody out there watching ain't got a therapist, I don't care if you feel like you're good or not. It's just good, especially for Black men. Like mental health, we got to make sure we
absolutely. Another topic coming up.
Yeah, well, every Wednesday I'm tapped in with my therapist or whatever. We talking about all different types of stuff, and I'm always telling them, like, since I was a little kid, like, you know what I mean, didn't know what I was doing, I always felt like I was supposed to do something. You know what I mean? I always, for some reason, I always had this thing about my destiny. I always feel like my destiny was to do something for the world. I'm supposed to teach the world something. I'm supposed to influence the world in some sort of way, right? And even like my mentors coming up in the military, everything like that, everybody would say something to me about that. They was like, man, you got like an influence over people. Like, everybody here do everything that you're doing and stuff, right? But everybody would notice it. But it's crazy because at that time what I was on was all bullshit. So everybody was following me doing bullshit, right? So we in the strip club every night. Everybody just followed me to the strip club because that's what I was doing. We drinking Hennessy every night. We doing this, you know what I'm saying? So my whole group, everything's doing everything that I did. And my mentor was like, man, like, you feel like you're using your gift for the right reason.
Oh,
like,
man.
Hit me with it, right?
Held your feet to the fire, yeah.
And so it's a lot of pressure because I always knew this, but somebody seeing in you is different. You know what I'm saying? That's a different feeling. And my response to them was like, you feel like using it for the right reason. I'm like, man, honestly, no, not right now, but this is what I want to do. I can't fake being positive or fake being motivated or whatever. This is what I want to do. They just happen to be following. Whenever I make that turn, you know what I mean? Hopefully they still following or whatever, right? But but that right there is always something that stuck with me, because I don't believe you get gifts for no reason. So I just feel like I always think about how I'm influencing the people around me. I'm proud of my influence now, but that at that time it's tough, because I feel like, there's friends that got, hooked to drugs. I feel like because of me, because they was following me doing things I shouldn't been doing, even though it didn't suck me in. It sucked somebody who might not have the strength in. So like that's kind of tough to deal with, thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right, now, Mr. Pinkert, you a bit of my moral compass here. where did I mess up? Because you remember me at 31, and this gentleman is, he's actually doing it correctly at 31 with a bit of a sort of the same background. So what could I have taken from this? What can other people take from this young man right here?
Man, just you gotta do the work with the long game. It's about especially entrepreneurship and business ownership. It's about the long game. You was trying to get the quick flip every time. You was trying to hit like right now every time. Sometimes you gotta invest. Sometimes you gotta invest and slow grind it out. But for what you was trying to do was just trying to hit home run every time up. Can't do that.
But I felt like what he was saying. I felt like I could hit home runs because everything I did, people was they was doing what I was doing. So I felt like I might have been that thing. But you saying no, don't, even if it feel like that, try to plan for that long game, because that's the correct way to do it, right?
No, most definitely. Okay. Is this you have to plan strategically. You must start off small and gain momentum and build it up. But it's like you was coming in, it's like, now we about to go buy the mansion and start renting it out. That's something you would have said. Like, I'm like, what? The $5 million mansion?
Yeah. We need the Escalades, the Bentleys, and the Ferraris for them to rent out.
Yeah. In the 10-room mansion. Yeah.
So
$20,000 a night. It's like, Irv, come on, bro.
So, Mr. Scotty, man, how are you? What's the next step right now? Since you feel the way you explain it sounds like you comfortable. You understand what you're doing. Where does this go from here?
Honestly, man, it's what I got going right now is probably like my proudest moment, like my proudest thing I ever put together. And that's this mentorship program that I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of last year, I came out with my Airbnb course. And the way I even came up with teaching courses and anything like that, I had made I made an Instagram, right? When I got like my 5th house. So I'm really feeling myself now, right? So I made an Instagram, my Elegant Estates Instagram, and I was just posting pictures of the Airbnbs that I got or whatever. And I sent it to my friend, and he a real nigga for this, because everybody else was like, oh yeah, this is dope, man. Boom. So my friend, he seen it and he was like, okay, but like, what is this? Are you kind of just like showing off your houses or whatever, right? And I'm like, and it kind of hit me because I'm like, damn, I don't know. I guess I am just trying to show it off or whatever. And right around that time, I had seen this meme that said, you give an entrepreneur an apple, he'll cut it up and sell apple slices and make $20 off of it. Ooh, that's hustle, whatever. They said an infopreneur, I think I'm saying that right, infopreneur, take that apple, make apple juice out of it, write a book about how he made apple juice out of it and make 20,000 or whatever. And that shit blew my mind. I'm like, what? I never even thought about it like that. Absolutely. So I took that and I was like, man, I got to make a course. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that I do. Came out with the Airbnb course. It took off. I had it for like $300 a pop. People was buying it. Like, a lot of people that just was supporting me, you know what I'm saying? But it was selling, right? So I'm feeling good. I took that course. So fast forward into now, I got into day trading and things like that. So it's a bunch of forex courses and stuff like that out there. So I got part of a company that was selling their courses for $175, and they was making good money. They was doing some good sales because there's a lot of good information in it. What I did was I was like, well, how can I separate myself from what they're doing? So I was like, man, fuck, I'm gonna just make a whole program out of what they already got going. I'm gonna add my stuff to it. I added my Airbnb course. I got with my man. We made it a Turo course. I hired my other boy. He do vending machines. He had made a vending machine course for me. My credit lady who fixed my credit, I brought her aboard to help my members fix with their credit. And then my boy, he's doing e-commerce, the Shopify, whatever. I had him make a course. So I put this all together, like the Avengers, like the Black Avengers, the entrepreneurs, everything like that. You feel what I'm saying? So while the people that I joined up with, they were selling theirs for $175, making real great residual money on their forex stuff. I took what they got, flipped it, put my stuff into it, brought my other friends into it or whatever. Still kept it $175 because I wanted to keep it affordable for, my people and everything like that. And it's been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't pass up. You know what I mean? What the VA pays me in disability every month, I haven't passed that up just in my program as far as what I'm making in that. You know what I mean? So it's been amazing. I've only been doing it a month and a half, so it's like I couldn't imagine it took off like this. And it's special to me because it's a bunch of programs out there doing these pyramid schemes. People ain't making no money in it. It's people getting scammed. So to
Right.
be given something that's even cheaper than that and real information, getting real testimonials, people really getting something from this, it's unbelievable. It don't even feel
Yeah,
real.
that's dope. That's dope, bro.
It is
Yeah,
dope, man. Dang.
Playmaker. He putting all the plays together, man. That's dope.
literally, that's what I'm
So,
imitating.
so how many friends has it been so far? How many actual friends have you had the chance to actually put onto the game?
As far as how many have turned into educators in it, or how many just joined to actually be part of get the information?
No, like you said, one dude is the vending machine guy.
Oh yeah.
So the teachers.
Yeah, how many
mentors?
So me, I run the Airbnb side. My friends who do the Forex side. One friend who does the vending machine. So that's three. One who does the e-commerce, and then me and another friend kind of double team Toro. So I would say, probably like four and a half.
All from what area are you in now?
I'm in Phoenix.
Phoenix, okay. And they're from that area or
Nah, all over the place. People I met in the military. Some of them on the East Coast, some in California, and what's dope about that whole thing is like it's this whole program that I created is forever evolving, right? Because say Airbnb die tomorrow and Turo die tomorrow, whatever new hustle that comes out that's really making people money, all I'm gonna do is just hire somebody who's good at that creative course. And what I'm saying is I don't necessarily have to teach it. I'm just creating a platform that people can receive.
You the plug.
Yeah, the plug. Yeah,
he the plug.
Yeah,
the plug.
Literally.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
That's dope, though, man. So you said for the 175s, let's say a member wants to join, right? And so they get like an a la carte what they want to pick, or can they pick everything as far as all different topics? The whole thing?
The whole thing. You get the courses. You get the courses, you get the classes. I call it classes because we put you in these Telegram chats where you got access to the mentor. You could ask me whatever questions, ask Forex people whatever questions. You get the courses, the classes, and then I usually try to give out at least one-on-one as soon as they sign up. Just because you could go through a course and you're gonna have specific questions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be real personal with it right now. When I'm 50,000 a month, I know it's gonna be hard to get me on the phone, but you know what I mean. I have somebody for them. You know what I mean. But for right now, it's just feeling good, man. It's just crazy because it's like, man, I got a single mother who's a part of the program who's learning things right now. I got a 19-year-old dude who just started making money. Didn't know nothing about Forex. He made his first $100 a couple of days ago.
Nice.
My boy just got his first Turo car. He coming from, you know what I mean, like the criminal lifestyle and coming into a legal thing. So it's like being able to really, like, I hate to be cliche, but impact lives. That shit is just feeling
it's
crazy.
Real, right? Like, yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
So what are most people gravitating towards? Like, what topic or subject? Is it more like Airbnb, Turo, or the Forex? What's popular right now?
Yeah, right now, as you know, Turo just fucking just hot. Like I be feeling some type of way. Like everybody come to me for Turo right now, and like I be feeling like, man, I don't think I know more than just Turo. Like it's just so hot right now for whatever reason. But Airbnb is Turo is why people come to me. It seems like most. But once they get in the program and it's another thing, we do sports betting. We got sports betting. My man's running that. He gets like these expert picks or whatever. So once people come in and they realize like, oh, you need a little bit of capital for Airbnb, you need a decent amount of credit for Turo. We got these avenues to get in the Forex, check out these courses, make a couple $100, stack that, get a vending machine, start off slow. Like you can't just throw 15 bands in an Airbnb if you're not, you know what I mean, there yet. So a lot of people like the idea of Airbnb, but they not willing to put the couch on their back and put up them bands. Like it sounds good because you just seeing people on the internet just showing results. They not showing that blood, sweat, and tears that went into it.
The cleaners, the maintenance, all that, right?
It's the grind.
The expenses,
the parties,
the
the party goers,
expenses.
all that, brother.
Come on, man. Listen, and when you getting them calls at 4 in the morning talking about
Oh
the
man,
Wi-Fi is all right.
that's
You want
real.
Airbnb? All right. And
Hey, and don't
luckily,
forget.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, don't forget too. It's some months where your Airbnb might not be popping. You still gotta pay them bills too, utility
Hey,
bills and the
bro,
rent
listen,
or the mortgage, wherever you got. So you might break even or
listen.
lose some month.
Come on now. Like at the end of the day, if you're doing it in cities that's kind of seasonal, you know what I'm saying? Every season and just a lot of snow, and it's not like snow to where people want to travel to see, that might
Yeah,
be an
Right.
issue. You know what I mean? And it's like at the end of the day, when you start scaling up, luckily what I did is I actually built a solid team. So just to throw this out there to people, like, yeah, I got a lot of houses right now, but I no longer I'm the boss of my situation now. I know I started doing everything, but I no longer do the messaging. I don't deal with the cleaners or whatever. It only gets to me if it's an issue. You know what I'm
major
saying?
issue. Yeah,
Yeah. If it's a
And I
problem.
learned, yeah, I learned that from the military. I always wanted to imitate what the commanders I seen when they hold the meetings or whatever. Like it only gets to them if it's an issue and it has tiers. I was able to do that with my Airbnb company, which is super dope because, like you said, man, there's gonna be some issues. You know what I'm saying? If you having parties,
absolutely.
people breaking shit, it's some a lot of things go on. It ain't peaches and cream.
Yeah. So just let's stay on Airbnb for a minute. So all are all your Airbnbs in Colorado? You said.
Yeah, yep. I'm gonna turn
Okay.
this light off.
What? All right.
Yeah, all of them in Colorado, yes, sir.
What part of Colorado?
Colorado Springs, Colorado
So that's
Springs.
that's where you were serviced at for the military or Air
Yep.
Force? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it, and
So
it, and
how?
it kind of worked out for me because it's not Denver, but luckily, and it's some game for people who want to get in the Airbnb. Don't think about just party cities or whatever. Because luckily, my house is being in Colorado Springs. There's 4 military bases in Colorado Springs, so I'm 90% of my bookings is, hey, we're closing on the house, PCS in here, boom, or hey, we're coming to watch the graduation, da da da. Military still paying me technically. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's for everybody out there who don't who thinking like, man, I don't live in Houston, I don't live in da da da.
Mm,
Listen, if there's a police academy in your city, you should have an Airbnb there. You consistently got clientele. Somebody's coming. There's a graduation every week. You know what I'm saying? So the Army base or whatever, wherever they graduate at, I think it's in Georgia. There's a graduation every week. They
facts.
people it's COVID. People don't really like going to hotels no more. They in Airbnbs. It's the perfect time to capitalize on that.
That's
So
facts.
do you think you're gonna ever expand from five to whatever you want to do next, like 10 or 15, or you think you're good with five for right now?
No, I definitely want to get big. I'm talking to one of my mentors, trying to get the apartment place together. I just feel like that's a better way to do it. Like the single family homes that I'm doing is dope, but to get an abundance, going the apartment route is definitely something I want to do. So I'm trying to do that in Phoenix or possibly in Houston. I think I spread myself a little thin with the program and everything that I'm doing, but
Mm-hmm.
I think my next big bag that hit the account, that's what I want to do next. Get another Turo car, a couple more apartments.
Got it. Okay, cool. That's dope, bro.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
Hey man, I'm not gonna hold you because we usually bullshit on this. I got one last sort of question for you. Who who did your disability package?
Who did it?
Yeah, who wrote up everything?
I don't even know how to answer that. Like, I don't like. What do you mean? Like,
Well, you
what's
have
an
to say,
example?
so did you submit everything yourself? Or did you go
Oh,
through
nah,
one of the disability services like
yeah,
American Legion or something like that?
nah. It was whatever they call the ones that's on base. I did like the standard. You know what I'm saying? GA rep or whatever that was on base.
Oh, so like
And
during the out processing, that person?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did that with them, and I was able to because I leading up to me getting out, I had did hella research on like what I mean, what's the best plans, this and that. Boom. But so I did well. I think I might have hit 80% on my first go around with everything that I did. Cause yeah, it's like that, it's like that. But I went over there. You feel me? I was in Afghanistan. I did all that, so I got all the mental health things that you required for that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm all the way in there. So
right.
when I came out, I got 80%, and then I just kept my foot on their neck to keep that 100 was mandatory. I needed that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this 100 approval, man, because they got me at the numeral 94. I'm like, come on, y'all.
Bro, 90 to 100 is actually like 60%. Like it's ridiculous the way that it's a scam, bro. I hate it. Like
See, this is all military talk. Y'all gotta put this on game, bro.
I'm sorry.
You gotta put it in layman terms for a civilian.
Basically, the VA who pays you for your disability when you get out, their whole job is to not give you a high percentage. They're trying to keep all that money in house, whatever. So you gotta really find ways. Like the average veteran who gets out, even if he experienced all the craziest stuff in the world, don't get what he's supposed to be getting. Like I always see that they don't be getting 60% when you didn't face death before. Like it don't make any sense, right?
I got you.
Another shameless plug, my program teaches that too. I forgot to even mention that. So like,
okay.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? I figured out.
Plug it, brother. Plug it. Ain't no shameless plugs here.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. My first couple members, that's what they signed up for. So yeah, that's another part of the thing of the program. If you're a veteran and you don't got the compensation from the VA, you feel like you should have. You know what I mean? You joining a part of my program. Me and two of my other friends who also got 100%. We showing you exactly what we did. You know, not lying or nothing like that, but we showing you what you should be doing, how you should be kicking it or whatever to get.
Right.
You know,
it's a blueprint to it. If you follow the steps, you good. Yeah,
sure.
I like to hear that, man. My brother down there, Mr. Pinker, man.
Yes, sir.
You got anything for us? I know you you ain't got a chance to really rock out and stuff, but
no, I was just soaking up game. It wasn't my just learning this to the brother's story. I appreciate it. I already got nothing, man. It's bulletproof. This is just an example of what you could be doing if you put your mind to it, put some energy, put some muscle to it.
I want to leave this invitation open to you, man. So anytime you.
I wasn't doing my questions yet, brother. I mean, you left me hanging here.
Hey, man,
shut your mouth.
You got a mentorship program. It's 175.
Shut your mouth.
I had a question. We forgot. We ain't talking about Turo yet, though, brother.
It's on the mentorship program.
This man is 31.
His own Turo cars though, too, brother.
Yeah. Ask away. I'm here. Yeah, my wife ain't home for another hour.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm chilling. Yeah, I might have a drink. It is what it is.
Oh well, Lenny and Earp already beat you. There you go.
I guess it's just water. I just got water.
So let's talk about Turo for a few minutes, man. So I know again that's how I found you. I was doing some Turo research on YouTube. I came across one of your. I wasn't stalking, man. I'm just trying to soak up game too. And Scotty hit me because he had like a lot of personality, and a lot of energy. And so I know you said you had one car. I don't know how many you got now, but you were talking about you got like a Range Rover or a Land Rover.
Yeah, Land Rover. Yeah, I'm actually picking up my second one next week.
Congrats, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you. And but now to keep it real, the Land Rover is not even mine. You know what I'm saying? My friend who is here in Arizona, he went overseas, for the military or whatever, and he knew I had been putting that in the universe. I wanted to get into Turo going on. So he was like, man, my Land Rover just gonna be in the garage. You know what I mean? We might as well rock together and start up the business. I'm like, nice. Cool. I went, picked it up. You feel me? Picked them pictures, posted it up. I already kind of had the feel for it from Airbnb, but posted that thing up just to see, like, all right, like, is this really gonna work? You know what I mean? And then, man, I don't even see that car, bro. I never see that car.
What year was it? What year is it?
It's the 17. Yeah, 17.
He just had it in the garage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was gone. He left for 8 months in Afghanistan. Yeah. So it was just in the garage. I was like, it's a liability at that point. So he was like, bro, pick that up. You could rock out. We just split profit. I'm like, man, let's do it. Posted that
how do y'all handle like the maintenance and all that, the services? He pay for it. You just kind of pay for it out your profit. How does that work?
Exactly. He pays for it on the plan that he got. Luckily, he really only had to do it one time in that 8 month span. And yeah, it was just smooth. I might have had maybe one or two guests that had some sort of damages that they ended up paying for or whatever, but I didn't have anything too crazy.
But things like oil changes and tires and all that, you'll take care of.
Exactly. Well, no, not taken care of as far as financially. He already had, set up 2-year thing where they was already charging his account for that. So I would drop it off, but he would pay for it.
Oh, he basically had like a warranty plan or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, warranty. Yeah.
Okay. So would have you had somebody rent something from you and then do burnouts and blow your tires out?
on a Land Rover? This dude got jokes.
I'm saying Brandon got some of the weirdest complications in his
We got
company.
different cars though, bro.
Yeah.
So it's
I was
different
about to say
scenario stories.
I was about to say you in the sports car. That's where I'm headed. But I'm getting a whole bunch of white families that's coming to see baseball games.
That's what I need, brother. See,
that's what I'm not gonna lie to you.
I got straight up hood niggas for real,
bro. He across the dope dealers.
Oh, the finest of dope dealers.
Yeah, I'm already knowing. So it's funny because before we started recording, we was talking about the video that I had made on YouTube. Is that like I said, I'm having I don't want to say good customers, but safe type customers or whatever. And there was one particular week where I wasn't booked. I was so used to being booked, I was keeping my prices the same. I wasn't booked, so I'm lowering my prices a little bit. A little game on pricing strategy. I'm lowering my prices a little bit to get booked. I get instantly booked, right? So it come in. I see my man, his profile picture that was like strike number 1 because. Call it what you want. Like the nigga looked like a nigga I would hang out with, right? Like nigga looked like he was a young nigga. So I'm like, all right, I don't know about this, right? And this nigga blows my mind with the message. With Turo, you got the opening message. Hey, I'm coming to town.
Broken
blah,
English.
Blah. Man, so niggas say just regular shit, like not even being too like what's the word? Like not explaining too much. Just hey, what's up? I'm here for the weekend, whatever, right?
Right.
Man, my nigga say, I wish I remember his name. My nigga came out and said, hey, what's going on? I'm renting out for the weekend. Just had 2 of my friends pass away. I'm like, what? Like, you feel me? Like, what you like? You feel me? Like, there was
car. What are you talking
I'm
about?
like,
how do I respond to this?
Yeah, well, my whole thing is like there's something at the end of this message that you clearly didn't add. Like why? What do you mean like passed away? Like where's the explanation? Like did they get murdered? Like are they sick? Did you kill them? Like you know what I'm saying? Like what?
There you go.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, like what?
Did you kill them?
Yeah, like there's something like you need to explain to me. Like why did 2 of them die? Like there's something like YNW Melly type vibe with this. Where I'm like, what's going on? And then my whole thing is like, if they was murdered, is the killer looking for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you all together? Is this like a gang? Or like, what are y'all into to where y'all passing away? You know what I mean? Like, RIP to his friends, but I'm just being honest with you. You giving too much information. So, like, needless to say, I declined that. That thing got canceled. That wasn't gonna happen.
Why are you telling me this?
Yeah, whatever retaliation you plan on doing, it won't be in my vehicle.
See, man, I need to move to Phoenix, man, because what he just described is my regular Friday salary, bro. So I mean, and this is just regular customers I gotta deal with. Like, yeah, let me go ahead and accept him. Hey, I'm here for a movie premiere. I gotta go to a funeral tomorrow. I gotta go to a restaurant opening. It's like, why can't I just get the suburban family from the burbs who want to come to Six Flags, man?
Hey, Mr. Jones, I'm trying to show this big booty broad the time of her life. I need that vet.
Oh man, all that, man. Graduations, you name it.
Okay, I'm about to go drag racing tonight on the street.
Yeah, all that. They want to be in little baby video shoots.
I really want to show you. I want to show your video with the dude wrecking your car.
Oh, the Grand Sport, that little, burnouts, donuts.
Is that the one that dude had the dope on him and all that?
Nah,
that's the pimp. That's the pimp.
This is different.
That was a red Corvette. The Grand Sport. That was.
You say not the pimp. It was the drag racer. Like,
that was my young bull that did that in the Grand Sport. Man. After a month of having the Grand Sport, this dude did burnouts and destroyed the whole rear end.
I mean, that was bad too.
Bad, bro. 13 racks and damage, but it got fixed, man. So it's all love.
See, that's why you the guru, man. You the guru.
Yeah, I got burnt. Is what it is. I keep getting burnt left and right, man. But it's all good. It's part of the process.
Yeah,
I mean, you got them exotic ass cars, man.
Some minivans,
right.
Exotic cars.
Yes, man. What you mean? So I gotta
Hold on,
shout.
You got vets in Atlanta. They love Corvettes in Atlanta.
He got vets. You got a Porsche too, don't you?
I got three Porsches. I got 2 Dodge Chargers.
Yeah.
2
Fall
Challengers.
back, my G. Fall back.
Those are exotics, though, bro. Understand?
In the hood.
I don't care. The Corvette is an exotic. It might be American weather. That's exotic. That's exotic.
Yeah. Well, the new ones is crazy.
For me, it is.
The new ones is crazy. I give
them
exotic.
The engines on them cars top notch. The engines on them cars are top notch.
No, they are. But I mean, to say from a price standpoint, again, you understand the climate and the culture where I'm at in Atlanta. Boys are renting out Lambos, Raris, and Uruses, and all that. They's like $100,000, $300,000 cars. So you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the climate in Atlanta, bro. So seeing the Maserati in Atlanta is not really a big thing, or seeing a Porsche in Atlanta is not a big thing. So
yeah,
I just want to give you flowers real quick on just the comment that you just breezed past, because that's a subtle flex to me to be able. Yeah, I got three Porsches, a couple Corvettes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not too many people you can talk to that's actually doing that, business or not.
Hey, you're right about that. I appreciate
shout out to B.
that,
Jones,
man.
baby. Shout out to B. Jones,
but it's not about me though, baby. It's about
See,
you.
I knew you was gonna do that.
I'm not trying to big bro nobody, man. I'm just listening, brother. Take that information.
Yeah.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Scotty, let's plan a trip to Atlanta and rent out that vet.
Which one you want? I want the vet. What you get?
I'm gonna get the other vet.
I got two of them. I got the red one and the black one.
What you got? Hellcats? You got Hellcats?
You got Hellcats?
I know. I definitely ain't doing that. They steal those off top.
I believe
anything with a Hellcat, Scat Pack, they gone. They gonna be in somebody's truck. You didn't see my last video about mine getting taken?
Yeah, I gotta go check that out.
You gotta
watch. Got taken for real.
They got taken. Well, you know they didn't return it. So what happened was, man. Long story short,
they got taken. Nah, they ain't returned it. I gave it to them originally.
So the cat rent, and this is a 1-day rental, and I freaking hate 1-day rentals.
Return a
1-day rental. This dude that rented it, he got 5 stars though, so he was legit. The dude that rented it. So he was supposed to drop it off tomorrow morning. He hit me up like 5 o'clock in the morning and told me the car is gone. His roommate or a coworker has stolen the car. I said, what? Come to find out, I went ahead and tracked the car. The car was he had picked it up here in Atlanta. The car was in Memphis, bro, Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh,
no. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Yeah, so I had to call the cops, do the whole tour process, get all the paperwork going. But I had a tracker on the car, so I knew where it was at. So I got my processes down when my cars don't come back or they get stolen. I'm not on wood. All my cars will come back because as far as my processes, you know what I mean. So whether that be on some street stuff or tour stuff, it can come back.
That's a class.
Look, hey, ladies and gentlemen who watching this, who claim y'all want to live this entrepreneur life, it ain't all roses, man. It ain't all roses.
Me and Rondell just talked about that last episode. Man. This is a suicide mission, brother.
Yeah. You gotta plan. You should plan well. You the way you explained your story, it's like you gave validity to the fact that you were not planning things well. But after you recognize, how it works out in the end, that's all you do is plan now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that mentality,
So I got one last question for free game, man. So my last question, and we had an episode prior to this, we talked about getting out your comfort zone and what are the steps you should take to be always feeling comfortable. And you just talked about being an entrepreneur and how this lightweight is like a suicide mission to a certain degree because you're always getting knocked out. Things are always happening, fire drills. So what are you doing? Like, what do you do to make sure that you're never comfortable in your position? What are you doing? Like, how do you handle
that? One thing I would say to people, the number one thing with getting comfortable, move out your city. Move out your city. And this is really for this is really for younger people and things like that. I was forced to do it, so it's kind of easy for me to say with the military. But if you 22, 23, 24, and you live where you grew up at, everybody knows you or whatever, you are extremely comfortable. You got to get out of there.
Bars.
Jump in the pool. Yeah, just jump in that pool, bro. Like at the end of the day, everybody say, "Well, I'm gonna go when I'm gonna stack up this, bro." You'll never be ready. You'll never be ready. It'll never come. It's like having kids. Like you'll never be ready to be a father. You gotta just, you know what I mean?
Right?
Yep.
I'm saying. So if you out there and you wondering, you know what I mean, why things, is stagnant and you kind of like a pawn in the game of chess, move, bro. Pick a city, close your eyes, just move. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna sink or swim.
You in the right
God ain't gonna
direction,
put
right? Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
man,
You,
yeah.
you get
Bars.
a chance. You get a chance, but definitely bars. You get a chance to see what was holding you back too.
Mm.
You know, you get a chance to see what was actually hindering your progress, and you get a chance to sort of miss those things that were supporting you. You know,
another good thing is you get sorry,
go ahead.
No, so you got opportunity to reinvent yourself into the image and the mold you want to be once you find yourself.
Whew, dang.
Yeah.
Oh God, bro.
It could have been other people preventing you from being the man you were supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because they vibe was off.
Well, they was holding you accountable who you used to be. Who they knew you to
if I was in Vallejo right now, you know what I mean? Even though people support me, it's like, man, Free Game Scott, man, it's David Scott. Like it's always like a type of, you know what I mean? It's like a hate there when people see when you grew up with them and they see you advancing and things like that. You gotta separate from that. You can still go back and, you know what I mean, be affiliated with your people, but get out there and realize that the world it's big, but it ain't scary like that. You know what I mean? Like people are just as scared as you are.
Facts.
Yeah. Facts. Bars.
Yes, that's
bars.
That's something I definitely recognize in the college route. I think we might have spoken about that before, where I just recognized that I was just as lame as I called lame people. Like I just figured it out. Like, oh, I'm not as cool as I thought I was.
Yeah. He said, "Nah, it's a rapper named Jacka passed away, and damn, I'm gonna leave it off with this one because it's so real, especially what we talking about." He said, I was in my city and I felt like I was famous till I got in the world and realized I was nameless. And like, that's what it is.
Shouts
You
out
get
to
out
the
there and
Jacket.
realize, shout out to the Jacket, man. Like you realize like, oh, like I thought I was doing something. I thought my 5 Airbnbs was something until I talked to a nigga who had 3 Porsches and 3 Corvettes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you never
and
know.
Airbnbs too, brother. But don't it ain't about me, brother. It's about Free Game Scotty, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, brother,
yeah. Hey man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. I'm gonna just say this real quick too, fellas. Like I appreciate all y'all for real. Because we always talk about listen, brother, listen. See, I'm gonna send one of my goons for you. You ain't too hard to find, brother.
He got processes.
Yeah, I got Seattle ain't that big, my G. But anyway, nah, for real though, like we talked about black young men coming together and unifying, man, instead of always hating and throwing, crabs in the bucket mentality. Like this is a prime example, man. Like I didn't know Free Game Scotty from the hole in the wall, but it's taking the chance of meeting new people and networking through technology, the internet, to say, man, bring this brother on. Let's give him time to shine and put him on. I want to see him do great things. He got a chance to get to 1 million subscribers and make a lot of money. That's what I want for him. You know what I'm saying? So many of us not having that same mentality is why we can't get ahead. We don't unify. We don't support. So the Free Game, man, I salute you. I'm here for whatever you need. And to, Irv and P, say for you guys too, man. I want y'all to be great and do great things. So
no. P, man, I feel some kind of way, man, because you was just kind of like watching, man. I want you to send this out, man. You send this out with something positive, man.
Oh man, I was soaking up game. I'm not an entrepreneur, so I'm listening to the story. It was an incredible story.
But it sounds familiar though, right? P sounds like an Irv story though in the YO though, right? Like
it's not. I mean, that's me saying as a comfort zone, just experience from places you can understand that your hood is just not unique to where you're at. This hood is everywhere. Brothers going through the same trials and tribulations. What all we gotta say is, we spoke a little earlier, but just make a practice of daily making yourself uncomfortable. Get in the uncomfortable zone, whatever you do in your life. It's going to be challenging, but just get to the uncomfortable zone is a good way to progress in yourself and just discover new things.
Yeah, and like Free Game hit it though. He said like with the mental health and the therapy and counseling and all that, we got a podcast coming up on that next too. So we're gonna hit all these topics that we just went over and kind of go drill down deeper into it. The mental health and then the IG and the marketing and the content and all that. It's gonna keep getting better and better, man. So I'm excited, bro.
Oh, yeah,
most definitely.
I love what y'all doing, man, and I appreciate y'all having me on here. Like genuinely, this is dope.
Now hold on, before we get you out of here, man, I want you to go ahead and let everybody know, where they can find you at, man.
Okay, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, so look, Free Game Scotty on all social media platforms, IG, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, everything. Free Game Scotty. If you want to look at my website and actually see what's going on, like get the program actually broken down a little bit more, it's theeleganceempire.com. Theeleganceempire.com. I got a couple of videos on there that explain what's going on with the program. If you got any personal questions you want to ask me about the program, you want to get started, hit me on Instagram, DM me. We get you started 175. All different businesses. Ain't nobody selling what we selling right now for this price. Best product on the internet right now. So tap in with it.
Get him, Scotty. Get him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, make sure you get my boy linked up too, Irv, in the description, man. Link my boy up. Man.
Yeah.
Why don't you watch your mouth?
No, I'm gonna be quiet. Man. You go ahead and mute me too if you want. Well, I'm going to bed.
We all out. We all out on this.
We out, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all. All right, boys.
All right, man. Be easy out there, man.
Most definitely.